Hey, thank you for coming back to my YouTube channel. Today, or this week, we're going to be talking about gerrymandering, right? Gerrymandering is that thing that prevents our voice from existing, right? Because our vote gets completely thrown to the wayside if we're in a Republican district or a Democratic district and we vote for the opposite, right? And I do mean whether we're Republicans or Democrats, right? Gerrymandering is unfair, period. Because in Ohio, right, we have over half of the electorate that tends to vote liberal, and yet over 60% of elected officials are Republican, right? And then you go to Maryland or California, and it's the opposite, right? It's, that you might still have a simple majority of people that are Democrat, but a super majority who's in office, right? And it's not to say that it's only good for liberals when it benefits liberals. It's bad all around because we, the people, aren't getting adequately represented. And then we just get people who don't care. They have safe seats, and then they don't have to care about what we want. And that is a no-no. We have to make sure that our elected officials listen to us first, right? So gerrymandering, right? In the Constitution, it says, in fancy ye olde English, that every so often you get to redistrict, right? And it doesn't say how, when, or whatever, right? But we've decided as a country that that'll be every time we do a census, and it'll be whoever's in charge at the time gets to redistrict. So guess when the last census was? 2010. Guess who was in charge? Republicans. Guess who the majority of people are in office now? Republicans. And that's the point. They are a minority all across the spectrum. In every single state, in every single part of our country, they are always a minority of the voter. Well, maybe not always, right? Can't say always. But a majority of the time, the country does vote liberal. And that just tends to be the case, right? History shows us that we want to improve people's livelihoods, not crush them beneath our heels. So, gerrymandering, right? What is that and how do we deal with it? Well, we don't deal with it as people. We deal with it by winning elections and changing it, right? As people, though, what can we do? Right here. We can build our own networks. We can support our candidates, and we can get them to primary these incumbents in their places of power. Because why is it a place of power, right? Because, let's just be real. If you're in a gerrymandered district, the primary determines who wins the election, not the election itself, right? Not the general. No, it's the primary. But why do people win primaries? Because they have a strong network, they have a lot of fundraising, and they have a lot of support, whether from within or without the party, correct? All these endorsements. So why wouldn't we do the same exact thing, except support progressive candidates, our candidates, people that we chose, you chose, not me, you chose, right? Why wouldn't we do that? Why wouldn't we give them the toolkits, them the network, them the volunteer list, them the support structure, our own GOTV, right? Why wouldn't we do everything a party is supposed to do for ourselves? That's what this is all about. Making it so that we can run our elections under their ticket and win. Fine. Establishment politics sucks, but it's a real thing. Gerrymandering sucks, but it's a real thing. Money in politics really sucks, but it's a real thing. So why wouldn't we use those things against them? One of the biggest reasons why change occurs in our country and why we keep suffering is because the people in power want to maintain in power, right? So when something shifts, they shift. And we're left down here. So it's like, constantly doing this, right? But notice my hands never fall. We have to make them fall. We have to crush them at their base. We have to take them out, root and stem. The best way to do that is using their strengths against them. Because if we use money, influence, and organization, our money, influence, and organization against them, what else are they going to do? Okay, so fine, they throw more money at it. We have the better organizers. We've already established that our guy is the guy that's actually going to give a damn, right? Or gal, of course, right? Our candidate is going to be the one to fight for our rights, American values, and American needs. And I emphasize needs. So, gerrymandered or not, we can win. And then when we do win, we can be like, screw that. Okay, gerrymandering out the window. We're going to let it go to third-party, independent, neutral organizations to determine the lines. Because at least then, if we have 60% Republicans, but every single one of them won their race, hey, No harm, no foul, right? You can't be mad if they actually win, right? But this crap, this gerrymandering, no. Being safe in your seat, like, okay, fine, let's say 60% of them do win. Next time around, they are going to have their feet held to the fire, because if they did not, in fact, represent me, you, and everybody else, they're gone. There is no safe seat anymore. That's the point. We need to make sure that they're afraid of keeping their seats, one, and two, that we're not going to vote for them. Because right now they don't care if we vote for them or not, because I'm in a safe seat. I'm in a gerrymandered district. That is the problem. That is what we're facing, and that is what we're up against. But our voice, that's our secret weapon. We're going to use technology. We're going to use social media. We're going to use our own networks. We're going to use our own money, and we're going to use our own resources to win, to run our elections, so that we can fight them and face all of these incumbents at their doorstep and their house, kick down the door and say, oh yeah, we're here. We're Americans, and we're not done fighting yet.